Yo, you probably click on this video because you want to see how to clear a Dark Summoner's Road, so here it is. Alright, we'll start with stage 1. I'm just gonna bring DPS, the rest will be luck. In this case, my DPS is Benimaru, who also has luck, so we're just gonna clear it full luck. Doesn't really matter. Alright, we're done here. Let's go next one. Alright, stage 2. Has slight gimmicks to it, but other than that, it's pretty simple. Only thing is that you have to break him. When you break him, you do a lot more damage, so I brought S and Orbis to go and clear him. And then I will have Shisho and Sanosuke to nuke him. In this case, at the start, I'll just play it slow and I'll just give them arts as much as possible. I'll use Grief to give Sanosuke arts. And then I'll just use Sanosuke art to give the rest of them arts as well. It's a pretty slow process, but yeah, it's just how I clear it. There's definitely a much faster way, but I haven't really gone and experiment. I just find this way pretty reliable for the boss, but for the clearing stage it takes quite a while. In this case, I'll just use everything to break the boss. I'll Shisho a nuke first. Boss has a 50% HP iframe. You use something, and then I can use Sanosuke to nuke. Alright, we're back. Same thing, we're just gonna break the boss. When Shisho to nuke the first half. Boss gonna use his arts. Just wait for a while, wait for his animation to fully complete. And then I'll use Sanosuke to nuke. Alright, simple as that. Let's go next one. Alright, third one, Ifrit. Ifrit, same thing, you gotta break him, if not you take... Bro, I can't speak. If you don't break him, you do no damage to him. Afterwards, you do a final nuke, and you gotta tank the nuke. If not, your Huin dies. You can either use Blessed Necklace, or you can use a Tontang with... a Tontang. Another thing to know is that the boss doesn't take damage or take way lesser damage if you don't blind him, so you need a blind. In this case, I use Jackal Pants, 100% chance of blinding. I use Satsuki to break along with break equips, some break equips, and then I'll use Samurai Rim for Suru healing. I won't use Jero's arts yet because Jero's art may be, or his passive may be triggered by Ifrit, so I don't want that to happen at all. So yeah, so I won't be using. I'll just be using Samurai Rim to Suru heal my thing. I'll be using Summer Miyu to nuke, so I don't use even her normal arts, in case I don't get it back in time. There have been a few cases where I don't get it back in time, so I don't want to risk it. Just gonna break, so I'm just gonna use Summer Muse SA along with Eclipse. Just gonna break. I'm gonna blind. Just gonna nuke the boss. Blind the boss. Double farts, damage. And she's gonna nuke the boss. The boss is gonna do a final nuke. It's gonna fly up, jump down. It's gonna blow up the team. So I'll use Gyros. Gyros NA is gonna tank for the team. His passive is gonna activate. He's gonna stay at 1 HP, and my team is gonna live. My team leaves, and if it's dead. Alright, let's move on to the next boss. Alright, stage 4. Stage 4, my team comp is pretty weird. Most people don't break it, they just do raw damage all the way. But okay, I guess some people do break it. But when you break, you do more damage to the boss, so that's why you want to break. I bring same plat because it helps with the light team comp, and I don't have my Summer Chloe and Max LB and full. I think it's not ascended, so I'm using hard. Hard should be more than enough to tank it. In this case, I'll activate everyone's art gen first and equip CT. You don't really need to use the breaking here, you can save it. First stage boss is pretty easy. Boss will do a nuke, do a lot of damage to the one that did the most damage. So you definitely want to protect your, in this case, my Fury. That should be the first wave. Second boss, he has quite a few thresholds. Every threshold you do some massive damage to the team, so you wanna be prepared for that. The boss also does blinding, so the team is gonna have a lot of trouble dealing damage. But you can just some of your attacks will go through, so it's fine. When you break it, most of your attacks will go through, and that's another reason why people want to break. More than enough to trigger the first threshold. You do some damage, you can reduce physical damage, I guess. Unless it's not physical damage, could be wrong. Anyway, so we're gonna continue breaking along the Argen and equip CT and heal. Boss is a shield killer, and that's why people bring constant healing like Summer Chloe and Heart instead of bring Tom tanks. The boss is broken. You do damage until threshold, and you have Ice Beam skin. Alright, the break actually came back, so let's continue breaking. Nearly died there, which was my same plan. Nearly died there, so it was quite scary. They want to restart. Oh, but they should be. That was broken. Do the necessary damage. Break him one more time. It's not need to do a lot of damage when he's not broken yet, because his evasion rate is very high up. So you just want to break him, his evasion rate goes down significantly, and then that's when you do the damage. So right now I'm just going for Equip City and Argent mainly, while my Saint Black breaks. Hard and Viren's Argent stacks, if I'm not wrong. Viren is type E, Hard is type B, so it stacks very well. I could be wrong. I may have to do some check. My bad for giving false information. Not enough damage. Okay, it breaks, and that's when we do our final move. Hopefully. Alright, the boss is dead. So let's move on to stage 5, and it's the last one. Stage 5 is much easier. Stage 5 is much easier than stage 4, depending on the units that you have, but yeah. So for stage 5, I will be using Roy, Hoka, Okarun, and Shiro. I know that not many people have this team comp, although most people use this team comp. Some people use Walk of Fan as well. Some people use Beta as well, I guess. These are the recent clears, and it's normally quite standardized. Everyone just use Roy, Hoka, and Shiro, and then the other one is just Flex. Yeah, in this case I use Okarun to just nuke the boss quickly. In this case, these bats are quite tanky, so as much as possible you just want to do damage in the real them. Nothing more to it. Hunting the bats, you need to use Shiro to like shield, so you can try activate Shiro's SA before that. So there isn't that delay as you go into wave 2. Overall, I think you just can nuke it. He does nothing except for threshold. There's nothing much to him. Threshold, he'll have iframe, so you just have to wait. Iframe is pretty long, so we just have to wait. Alright, he's done doing his nonsense, and we're just going to get into the next threshold. So far SA for Argent, and then he's done, we're just gonna hit him. We didn't hit him for some reason. It's fine. Alright, that's done. And then we move on to the final stage. Final stage is pretty easy, especially when you have Shiro. It's kind of like a cheat code at this point. You have to nuke him at every threshold, you'll do a shot. There will be a short iframe, and then you can continue doing damage to him. He drops quite a bit of parts as well, so it's quite nice. And then there you go, same thing. We're gonna get the threshold, it's gonna iframe. Same thing, it's gonna do some big damage. Gonna shield. Final one is gonna be the same thing. He's gonna revive, so you don't want to use everything to kill him now. He's gonna revive. He's gonna feign your entire team, and after you feign, that's when you're going for the attack. Right, I forgot he freezes also, and that's why I bring Fenrir. But yeah, that should do all the damage. Apparently he didn't die, so I'm just gonna move him again. Alright, he didn't die, so I'm just gonna move him again. And that should do it. Normally right after he feigns, that's when you go in for the kill. If not, he start doing big damage to your team, and you don't want that to happen. But again, if you have Shiro, you don't need to worry. Just need to make sure your DPS is strong. And yes, that is how you clear Dark Summoner's Road. All 5 stages. Thank you guys. See you in the next video. Take care.